Man, my fucking camera really got the fucking pores in my goddamn face. Um, yeah, so some of you guys said you wanted a video. I find that I talk better doing this shit, talking than typing because of the level of literacy I have is honestly kind of fucked. This is what I look about my glasses, by the way. Shit, almost got resin on them. So where to begin? When that post came out, the first thing I saw was someone basically being fucking stupid and actively just saying words that they didn't really know the meaning of. Because what pisses me off the most is they came out saying that, oh, the democratic ownership of AI should be the talk of the conversation. And anyone that says anything else, like the soul, the human integrity, authenticity, all the other bullshit, is just a reactionary. My forehead big. But that pissed me off because it made me realize that some people will read theory, become intellectual theorists, Facebook philosophers, as MJ said, and will actively just use words that they do not know the fucking meaning of and actively be counter revolutionary in how they present themselves. AI, as we all know, eats a lot of water. It destroys fucking electrical grids, and doing that actively kills disabled people, especially when disabled people rely on medical technologies that need electricity. And the water disproportionately affects black and brown communities, and definitely indigenous communities, because water has always been used as a weapon against them. So that should also be the forefront of the conversation, not just fucking economic bullshit. A lot of dogmatic Marxist-Leninists always actively care more about the economic situation in the world and not the active form of decolonization or the fact that black and brown people are disproportionately getting fucking murdered every single day by capitalism. And it pisses me off because that person was brown. That person was brown, and that made me so upset because all they did was disregard indigenous voices, black voices who've been echoing, screaming for centuries, who have been at the forefront, the vanguard of fighting fucking for their equality, for their own land, for, in this case, the indigenous folk, and also the case the descendants of African slaves, which, me. Shit pisses me off. One of the reasons I thought I was tweaking was because I didn't see anyone else at the time yelling at this motherfucker for being stupid. I thought it was actually very reactionary, and the reactionary is basically people who see shit and go, let me make a post about this, or let me say shit without actually analyzing what I'm saying. Because the thing is, AI art, as we all know, is ass. It doesn't look good. It takes away from human expression, which tells the struggle of humanity. And it also, you can't build a revolution off of just robots. It's fucking, come on. It's on the same level of leftists and communists who believe that crypto could help elevate the people, when in reality it also does have the same issues of consuming a lot of water and destroying electrical grids because our grid has been upgraded in centuries. This is why people who follow people like the American Communist Party are pretty much just fascist with the hammer and sickle above their fucking head. That's why I hate groups like the CPUSA, because of their infiltration by the CIA. And it's also why I hate the groups like PSO and DSA, because they also are literally just counter-revolutionary forces that exist to take the people like me, like you probably. I don't know how to... I haven't recorded a video since I was 18. That's not true. It's 21? I forgot. Regardless, people like me and you who want the world to change, but they can't think of a world outside of the world that exists. So they think in order for AI to be good, we have to have people own the AI, make the people have full control of AI, because the thing is about AI, until we have something like quantum computing fully figured out, it's just machine learning, and all it really is just binary code doing ones and zeros trying to figure out bullshit. And that isn't good, because if for an AI to have the same level of sentience as a human being, it needs to think out of the binary field. It has to unironically be fucking non-binary. Because I'm pretty sure that's how the human fucking brain goes. We don't just think of one set pattern. We can think of outside of the fucking way things are set for us. An example is, I believe that there could be a world where we have access to public transportation, food, water, medicine, all for free, because we have the resources to do that. All we have to do is just not spending a whole lot on fucking war, which is... Yeah, and... Sorry, losing my point, because I just wanted to essentially go on a tangent. I hate when people actively pretend like black and brown voices don't exist and they focus on European viewpoints like the economy and economic output and money when I know that's not essentially European. Like money existed way before fucking capitalism. Excuse me, I ate a lot of guacamole. And same thing with production, modes of production. All this existed before capitalism. By cultures like Africans and indigenous people, we have histories that exist showing that we produce shit all the fucking time. But the thing is, a lot of Eurocentric people believe that we have to have a third industrial revolution, we need to destroy the environment, we need Native Americans not to have their land back, and that's just terrible. Because these people that always actively go, we gotta own the means of production, usually don't look at the people that would be doing most of the labor and the people doing all the fucking fighting. And now I remember my point. One of the things that pisses me off the absolute most is people not realizing that you got to do praxis when you read theory. You can't just read theory and assume that you are a god. You're not. You're just another person, just like me and you, trying to figure shit out. Theory gives reasonings to the noise, but that doesn't mean that the noise won't stop. You can read all you want. You can say this is what Marx and Lenin said, but until you're out there actually with people, you're not fucking being real. I've done some practices here and there. I've read some theory here and there. I've been in the streets since I was a fucking kid, essentially. I've dealt with poverty like most of you have. Way worse because I'm black, unless you're also black, then probably way worse than me because my mom did her damnedest to make sure we had everything. But even then, it just pisses me off that people who don't do praxis just go on a high horse and try to make it seem like it's fascistic to be like, hey, yeah, AI is terrible. It steals from workers, it hurts disabled people, and fucks with water sources that disproportionately affect fucking minorities. And people somehow just don't get that. Like, I know I'm new to reading theory. That's why I decided to read like Mao Zedong and read Black liberation theory and decolonial theory, because it's quintessential for me to fucking understand these people have similar things to me, and I can use that to help educate people who are like me. And the thing is about education is, if you're educating someone, it shouldn't be to make your point right. It should be to inform them. And that's why I like theory, because it can inform you and come to the same conclusions. Like, fucking who was it? Mao Zedong and Ho Chi Minh, Stalin and Lenin. They all came to the same conclusions before they met each other, because that's what theory does. It breaks down the world that you live in and allows you to see it for what it is and how it can be. Like, the reactions people have to things. Like, currently I'm on chapter fucking 5, I think, of the Low Red book, reading about war and peace. And last thing I read was about contradictions. And in that, it talks about how I'm not doing this to myself. I haven't reviewed it, because after I read, I review it, because sometimes I find that to be the best way to learn. But it talks about how intellectuals will be so far up their own ass thinking that they're doing the right thing, that they're not making contradictions, but those contradictions usually harm working and peasant people. Peasant being like rural people who live in farms, who are disproportionately getting resources. As some of you who may live in the rural areas know, you guys don't get shit. Like, literally, I've had to move to the city to get a job. And there are other people like that, like me, who left their hometowns to go to a better place. Because it's either that or you don't get money to have a family. And that's why I moved to Philly. Fun fact, that's why I moved to Philly, because I wanted to become an electrician, join a union, and use my resources to help the people. That's why I'm reading theory, because it's really, I really need to know these things so I can best talk to people, because as you can see by how it's all messy and shit, is I'm learning. And we all should learn. And that person clearly thinks that they're right when they aren't, because they didn't talk to actual people. They just read a book and said, yes, this is right, I'm right now, and let me bring out my point that is completely wrong. Because just because you read theory doesn't mean that you know everything. The best way to learn, I've seen, is to learn from your mistakes while doing praxis, and to learn from your mistakes while reading theory. Because as you fuck up, you learn how to actually fix things. Because one of the things I talk about with my friend Jordan is that, well, damn, I probably shouldn't say his name. Yeah. I might have to cut that out. But one of the things I talk about with my one friend is that we read this shit, so we know how to cut through the noise, and then we use this shit to help the people be educated and learn more about the world that they live in. I'm sorry, I'm watching my cats lick each other. Um, yeah, if anybody like wants me to try to make videos like this more often, I will. It's just mainly just rambling from a man. Um, yeah,